don't make the mistake of confusing this Bitcoin bounce with the bear market bottom. Take a look at Bitcoin today. We're currently hovering right around those tariff capitulation lows. I'd like to talk about it. So you'll notice that previously we managed to wick above $76,000, which was a great SFP that I addressed in my previous video. What is next for Bitcoin? Because if we go into the lower time frames here, this is continuing to show a little bit of strength. Now, my base case has been and will continue to be that the bear market bottom is not in, and over the course of this year, we will find our way below $60,000 for Bitcoin. I discussed why, but just to give you a quick recap, number one, we have not seen any kind of regular drawdown for Bitcoin. From the high to where we are today, or to where we went to sub $60,000 briefly, Bitcoin dropped approximately 52%. In most bear markets, Bitcoin drops over 70%. Now, I also touched on the fact that because institutions are involved and there is, in general, more interest in Bitcoin, we don't have to drop as much as 70, 80%. We know that cycle after cycle after cycle, the drawdowns are less significant. However, I still don't think that a 52% drop confirms the bear market bottom for Bitcoin. And if we go to the higher time frames here, you'll notice that this can be classified as just another relief rally. Is it a nice relief rally? Sure. But in bear markets, a lot of the time, the price is slowly rising, building some downside liquidity before we get a big move to the downside. Now, some of you have been saying, when is this going to happen? I'm losing my patience. The reality is, it doesn't have to happen for a while. But from a spot portfolio perspective, nothing has changed. I will be looking to accumulate Bitcoin sub $60,000. And then if we are to go sub 50K, I will accumulate even more aggressively. There's a lot of people that are already saying that that was the confirmed bottom and we're off to the races. But I just don't think that that's the case. We have other charts like this, the Bitcoin terminal price, which we always tend to tap into that realized price and balanced price in bear markets, and we have not tapped into it quite yet. You can see that we are quite a ways away. The Bitcoin realized price sits right around $54,000, and the Bitcoin balanced price sits just below $40,000. Now, that would still be well within the expectations of a correction in a bear market. I understand that if you're watching my content and you're not a trader of this market, it can be frustrating. Some of you have even unsubscribed saying, hey, I don't like the fact that you keep on saying that the price is going to go lower. I want to watch something else. By all means, go for it. I trade the market that's right in front of me, but I also give you my higher time frame perspective. And from a higher time frame perspective, I still firmly believe that wherever this relief rally goes, it will ultimately lead to lower for Bitcoin, which will be a great opportunity to accumulate Bitcoin at lower levels. That's at least how I will play it. Now, in terms of my trades, I have been shorting Bitcoin and shorting Tau. I also talked about a different altcoin called Rave in my previous videos that I managed to make some profits on. We'll talk about it today again. But this Bitcoin short trade, I'm simply going to hold on to my position for as long as possible. I've secured profits on the way down. You can see I still have some solid unrealized profits. I still firmly believe that Tau is an altcoin that has a lot of room to go down, especially if Bitcoin gets rejected. So I will continue to maintain this trade. But I am no fool. I will be taking profits on the way down as I have been doing. You can see here 300K on my Bitcoin trade and just under 100K on my Tau trade. Remember, all of the trades that you're seeing here on screen, as well as my spot portfolio strategy, is shared in my premium group. It is a free group. If you DM me the keyword CBM after clicking the first link in my description down below, I'd be more than happy to add you into that group. The only requirement is that you've signed up with one of the affiliate exchange links down below and you start trading on there as you normally do. You're trading with your own capital. My go-to exchange is Bluffin, although I really have been enjoying 2bit recently because they give you a $60,000 tradable fund depending on how much you're actually trading on the platform. Now, let's get back to the charts. I also wanted to talk about the altcoin that we've been discussing, this Rave altcoin, because I came out yesterday and the day before in my live stream talking about how I would be looking to short this token, and I have done it so far. If we go on my Bluffin account here and I go to my overall position history, you'll notice here that I've realized just over $46,000 shorting this Rave token. Now, it is a tricky one to play, I will say that, because it's very hard to get the perfect top on these altcoins. The fact that it's sitting at a $4.22 billion market cap, I mean, I'm getting excited about this because I do think that it will likely drop by 70 to 80%, as we've seen with most altcoins, and I plan on making money on the way down. But you need to be very, very careful trading this. Yes, I made some profits doing so, and actually, this was my second trade on Rave. The other one, which was also shared in my community, I made around 15K on. So net profitable so far trading this token, but I want to look for the Pico top, ideally, so then I can get a nice move to the downside and make money as this token inevitably starts moving lower. I'll discuss it in my videos as the price action develops. I'll also be talking about it in my group. So if you want to know my positions, when I jump in and out of these trades, when I protect my positions, remember, you know where to find me, my community, which is the first link in the description down below. I think it will provide a great opportunity for those of you looking to short altcoins in this market, especially if Bitcoin rejects from around this zone. Now, from a higher time frame basis, where could Bitcoin reject if we managed to sweep up these 76K highs once more? Because right now, as I'm recording this video, every single time that Bitcoin has been moving down from the top of this existing range, we're getting bought up. So this is decent price action, but I would say it's looking a little bit more like distribution. I don't think we're going to get some kind of massive pump, especially with the way that the shorts, or I should say the longs, have been piling up. Taking a look at the Bitcoin exchange liquidation map, you can see that most of the market on the 30-day time frame is long. On the right here, we have around $2.27 billion worth of cumulative short liquidation leverage if Bitcoin is to go to around $84,000. On the left here, if Bitcoin is to go just down to 65K, which would keep us within the same range that we've been in for the past 2 months, already 8.6 billion worth of cumulative long liquidation leverage. So it's something that you definitely want to consider. I would not be chasing longs at the top of this range. If you wanted to long Bitcoin and you were looking to trade this, I talked about it in my group, the best opportunity would have been after sweeping this downside liquidity. We had built up a lot of liquidity in this range, and this was the time to go long. Now it makes sense to be looking for some shorts. I'm still holding my higher time frame shorts, but if you are more of a day trader, well, you can bounce in and out of positions depending on how the market reacts to these kind of key levels. And just quickly, another metric that I like to look at in the bear markets to tell me whether or not the bear market bottom could be closed or could be in is when the Bitcoin percentage of supply and profit and loss crosses. So you can see here that typically in bear markets, these two levels also cross. We came quite close when we had that dump, but now they are slightly pulling away. And so you want to pay attention to this chart because it may suggest when the bottom could be in. Now, you have to understand that all of these indicators that I'm looking at to tell me when the bottom is in, the fact that we've only had about a 50% drawdown from all-time high to where we are now, the overall length of this drop is typically very short to see any kind of bear market bottom. The fact that we haven't hit the Bitcoin realized price or the Bitcoin balance price, the fact that the supply of profit and loss haven't crossed yet, all of these things are estimates. You have to remember that. And that's why when some of you ask me, okay, if you think that, for example, Bitcoin could go down to 50K over the course of this year, why wouldn't you just wait until then to buy Bitcoin? And my answer is, I will never catch the perfect bottom. Do I hope to do so? Yes, of course. I think it's premature to call that the bottom was 60K. I think we will go below there, but your guess is as good as mine as to where that perfect bottom will be. And so, because I am also a long-term investor, I simply look to accumulate Bitcoin in deep value zones. And sub 60K is good enough for me. As we head lower, I would likely add more to my spot Bitcoin portfolio. If you're new to the channel, I've been accumulating Bitcoin for quite some time. I've been trading the crypto market since 2017. And in the previous cycle, I accumulated most of my Bitcoin sub $30,000, some Bitcoin even sub $20,000. So I plan to do the same, get relatively close to the bear market bottom, and I will try to guide you along the way. Now, The last couple things I wanted to address in today's quick video, you can see people are already confidently saying that we will never see a 50K Bitcoin again. We also have the fact that just now Iran has supposedly, according to President Trump, agreed to almost everything in their peace talks. And then we also have the fact that Israel and Lebanon have agreed to a 10-day ceasefire. Speaking of which, the stock market continues to absolutely soar. A lot of people are saying Bitcoin will play catch up here. The stock market made a brand new all-time high, which we discussed in yesterday's video. Meanwhile, Bitcoin is nowhere near its all-time high. And I think that this is more relative weakness for Bitcoin, meaning that the moment that the stock market ends up rolling over, which we know can take a lot of time in these late business cycle environments, I think Bitcoin would have a severe correction and would not like this whatsoever. All things considered, if you've been trading crypto for a while, you typically look for Bitcoin to really outperform the stock market. But as we discussed in yesterday's video, Bitcoin's recent pump and the stock market's recent pump are relatively similar. Not what you want to see for a risk asset like Bitcoin. Obviously, you can place your bets. Maybe you think that Bitcoin will just greatly outperform the rest of the market. I believe in Bitcoin in the long term, but I don't believe this to be the case. I think that Bitcoin will find its way below $60,000. I'll try to stop reiterating that every single video, but at least a couple times a week, I have to remind you of my higher time frame analysis, and it is essentially this. And that sums up today's quick video. If you enjoyed the content, make sure to smash that like button and subscribe, and I'll see you in the next video.